Here's how I would describe men and young men's shame. It's the same as women's shame. It's just dressed up differently. It comes up in different experiences. As a mother, as a wife, as a sister, as a cousin, as a friend to men, I'm always interested in men relational capacity. And this is because I've been at the receiving end of complete disconnection during a conversation, during an experience with men, where I felt there's a lack of presence, there's a lack of being here in the moment. It's almost like they are looking out in their head, shots being fired at them. I find that men's shame come in two ways, either in quiet resistance or very loud outburst. And there almost isn't anything in between in my experience anyway. I don't know what you have experienced. There's the lashing out and just shutting it down and being loudly angry, or just shutting down, going quiet, and using tactics to maneuver the conversation, and get themselves out of that situation. So I give you an example. When I would say something, I bring a feeling about something that I have experienced at the hand of their actions or whatever. Even if it's not about them, it's just an experience I have about something that's happening, that I'm not happy about. Instantly, the guns are up. Okay, the guns are up and they're pointing at me to protect, right? And what it feels like is you are not allowed to experience anything, because the moment it hits them, it's like saying, these are all the things that you are not willing to look at, the things that you've pushed down. It's about me, right? You're not happy about that. You're not happy about the dinner reservation. You're not happy about how that person handled the conversation or talked to you. That's a reflection on me. It's almost like you're not allowed to have an emotional experience or an experience of any kind. Just everything has to be okay so that they can be okay. You have to be here. You have to be emotionally plateaued level, almost like below the window of tolerance, the parasympathetic system, the fight flight, the window of tolerance in the middle, and fawn and collapse down at the bottom. It's always kind of below where there's just numbness, right? Just above the numbness, not quite at the... Look up the window of tolerance and see what I'm talking about. If something bubbles up, this bit here is missing, the actual window of tolerance where they can be engaging, receptive, and accessible, access their own emotions. They go straight to the top with the shouting, the shutting it down with rage and anger, just to kind of go back to that level of not feeling anything. But life comes at them, so it brings up that stuff, and that work is to push it down. And that work is very heavy, and that work brings shame. The trigger comes up and it bubbles up the shame. And so when you are experiencing something and you're sharing it with them and saying, when you did this, I wasn't happy about that. It made me feel this way. They feel that that's about them. They will shut it down by shouting at you or minimizing it, right? They can also minimize it. But whether they are aware of this or not, I think sometimes, probably they are aware that they don't want to deal with it. I think there is that awareness. But sometimes there probably isn't, because maybe they are overwhelmed with the shame bubbling up. So they have to shut it down. It's become almost like second nature to them to guard against whatever feelings are coming up for them. And if you are a man listening to this, if this is you, that stuff bubbling up can be looked at, and can be looked at a pace that's comfortable for you to begin to face some of that stuff that comes up, that you've been pushing down. Before you go, take a deep breath. And ask yourself, as a man, ask yourself, am I not willing to look at what's coming up for me? How am I invalidating myself and those around me? And as a woman, as a young lady, how am I doing more than I should? How am I invalidating myself? How can I navigate my experiences around my partners, my brothers, and any men in my life? Until next time, stay curious. Thank you. Okay, before you really go, if like me, you are interested in men's mental health and women's mental health, I am developing a bigger series on YouTube talking about loneliness, connection and belonging, and just looking at the history of our relationships with each other as men and women over time and how it's sort of developed on a bigger perspective rather than just these details.